I'm almost 58 and I'm still struggling so much inside of me quietly, um, of feeling beautiful somehow within myself. And yes, there are many things in the world that I'm worried and concerned about, and there are much things that seem bigger, but this feeling of unworthiness and ugliness that I've had inside my heart has just affected the way I relate to the world around me. I first felt unbeautiful at a young age. I think it might have been even before I was 5, feeling unattractive and ugly, and even being told by my own mother that I was ugly. And my mother also used to look at me and tell me things like, oh, it's okay that you're not pretty, you could maybe, because you might get lucky, and then that can help you become happier somehow. And so those kinds of comments as a child made me realize that I probably wasn't very pretty. Just because I had relatives that would make fun of my features, my fat face, my flat nose, my small eyes. And when I heard such comments from my relatives as a child, I felt embarrassed and ashamed. Embarrassed and ashamed because I wanted to somehow please them and have them accept me. But because I was ugly and funny looking, I was just more like a comic relief for them. And so I just felt ashamed. I just wanted to feel pretty. And because I wasn't pretty and they didn't think I was pretty, I just felt, yeah, really embarrassed of myself, the way I looked. I oftentimes envision the grown-up me giving the little Coco a hug and just, providing just comfort. Because sometimes I just feel like I don't need a lot of words, but maybe sometimes I just need a hug. I think what really helped me to get through it was just having a loving father. He never talked about my physical attractiveness or unattractiveness. He was just very loving towards me, and I felt he accepted me unconditionally. And maybe that's the part of me that helped me through these years when I really struggled. I was never the way I should look or the way I should be. I was never as smart or as good as, according to my mother, as good as the other people's daughters. And she would constantly say, "What's wrong with you? Why is it that I try so hard, but you could never be what I want?" And often I just wanted to not be seen. I wanted to disappear and just kind of, hide, just because I was so ashamed that I couldn't be what my mother wanted me to be. My mother has said so many mean things to me, and a lot of the words that she said hurt. She would, constantly tell me that I'm stupid and I'm worthless and that I won't amount to anything. But I think the most hurtful thing that I carry with me was when she told me that she wished she never had me, that I had never been born, and that, she regrets being my mother. And so that really hurt because, yeah, you were just really, I just really wanted my mother to just want me and accept me. So yeah, it was really painful. And I really work on just being kinder to myself. I think that just became like a really like a lifelong quest to just learn to somehow love myself and to just I think it didn't it took till maybe after 50 where I just really realized that she was never going to accept me or validate me, and that it's like expecting like an elephant to become a ballerina. Like just certain things you just can't have, and just to accept that it's not going to happen, and that I have to keep living and doing the best that I can and somehow find a way to love myself. She just knows the things to say that would upset me. And a couple times when I was younger, I felt like, feeling so trapped with her, where I would think about taking my own life because I couldn't think of a way out of, this whole experience with my mother. And it makes me sad in a way that when I look back on certain times of my teenage years, there's like this black hole almost, because so much of my energy was spent obsessed about, I had anorexia and trying to, maintain this impossibly strict diet and over exercising, that even though I was going through my daily life doing things, a lot of the memory is just not there because that energy was focused on the eating disorder. And it all kind of ties into, my depression and anxiety and trying to cope with my mother, as well as being accepted by other people. And so that was a very huge thing. I'm fortunate in that I'm married and I have a really wonderful husband. I mean, that's one thing that I'm really, really grateful for, because he is really kind, he's honest, he's strong, and he wants the best for me, and that I am truly grateful for. I started therapy, and I started a spiritual practice, and I started reading a lot of books and listening to videos and different things to try to improve myself, so I wouldn't just focus on the embarrassment of my feeling ugly. But because this concept of ugliness was just embedded in me from such a young age, it would just keep turning up again and again, especially in times of stress or when I was really struggling. And so I would say, although my negative inner voice isn't as loud as it used to be, and when I catch myself putting myself down internally, I try to counteract that with positive things about myself. There's still a very deep wound inside of me where I feel ugly. There's a little bit more self-acceptance in that this is what I look like, and that I tell myself there's nothing wrong with the way I look. Yes, I don't have perfect features. Yes, I'm developing wrinkles and I'm getting older, and I'm experiencing the ravages of time, and yet I'm still here. And even though I'm not pretty, I have worth as a human being, and I still want to somehow contribute to society and help people in the ways that I can. My name is Coco, and I am unbeautiful.